Okay guys, so now for the rest of the semester we're going to be talking about value. We're going to be dealing specifically with two different approaches. The first here is reductive value. This has to do, the whole reductive part or subtractive part of the method comes from removing material. So we're going to actually start the drawing by putting a tone down on the paper with the vine charcoal, erasing in for the lights, and adding more charcoal for the darks. One of the first steps for you guys is going to be to complete a 9-box value range or grayscale. You'll start by toning the entire scale. The value scale, I would like it to be 18 inches long, so 9 2-inch by 2-inch squares. You'll start by toning the entire grayscale to your box number 5, a perfect even medium gray. You'll start to erase out for your lights, start to add more charcoal for your darks, but you need to end with this nice sort of stepped gradation, okay? Going from the white of the paper to a nice rich velvety black, okay? For your practice drawing, the still life, the type of still life that I'd like you to set up is one very simple arrangement comprised of a small handful of objects. Keep it simple, but I'd like you to play with your values. Remember, we talked quite a bit about local value, the inherent tonality of an object, a light object versus a gray object versus a black object. Notice how the lights on the white objects are lighter than the lights on the dark objects. The shadows on the dark objects are darker than the lights or than the shadows on the light objects. So we want to be thinking about our local value as well, not just the specific value that's happening with the light and the shadow from the light source. So simple arrangement, strong single light source. You can see mine is to the upper right. You can create a light source by using a desk lamp or a clamp light, setting up in front of a window. Just make sure that your light source isn't directly in front of the still life. Have it over to one side so you're using light and shadow to help reveal your forms. The practice drawings, this guy I believe is roughly maybe 14 by 18, 13 by 18, something that size. Try to work roughly this size, a little bit smaller than 18 by 24, because the final drawing is going to be on a full sheet of Stonehenge, the 22 by 30. So, start by toning your paper with your vine charcoal. Now do a couple coats. I want to tone to a nice even medium gray. Vary your direction. And I've got a 1-inch border taped down as well. So tone your paper, take away the white of the paper. Remember, your vine charcoal is going to give you your lighter to medium grays. Your compressed charcoal is going to give you your darks. Use your charcoal pencils to help you get in and really kind of find the forms. Reserve that towards the end, until the end of the drawing. Don't go in with your charcoal pencil too soon. Kneaded erasers will make more subtle erasures. The harder either Mars or Pink Pearl eraser will really pull out your bright lights. Okay? So, really quick, I'm going to grab my viewfinder. Now with this process, I would like you to avoid drawing out in line first. Just start by erasing out shapes of light and dropping in shapes of dark. Again, the charcoal pencil you'll reserve until you're maybe, these practice drawings, maybe a 3-hour drawing or so. Don't be using the charcoal pencil until maybe the last hour or so. Really, I'm just getting a feel for my composition, having an idea of where I want my forms located. And notice, right away, I'm just drawing in and erasing out large areas, large shapes. I'm not getting super nitpicky in the very beginning. I'm really focusing on this idea of drawing large to small and general to specific. Keeping it nice and quick, nice and broad, nice and simple. That black vase. I'm going to put the top of that mug right about here, which tells me then that the top of that funnel needs to happen quite a bit higher. And it's really being made visible by the cast shadow behind it. Now looking at my composition, I'm seeing everything is quite heavy to the left. So I'm going to shift over to the right, just a touch. I want it to feel a little bit more balanced. And notice, when I'm working simply and broadly like this, it's not a big deal to make a change. I just have to make a quick little adjustment. I want my mug to happen about so. I want that funnel to push over just a bit, which means that my egg needs to shift as well. Okay. Now I'll start going in with the compressed charcoal, again, just for sake of the demo here. I'm going to be going a little bit quicker. This was originally where I had the left edge of the mug. That's getting shifted over quite a bit. The darkest moment in my still life is in the bottom left side of that black vase. That's happening right about here. Nice and rich and dark. Shadow on that mug. Notice too how I'm bouncing around back and forth between the objects and the space behind, the fabric behind. It's not just the light on the mug that's revealing the mug, it's the light on the mug relative to the dark tabletop and the gray fabric behind, right? So I'm always thinking about the relationship of one thing to another. One light to a dark, a gray to another gray. I can do some minimal smudging, some minimal blending in these stages here. I'm going to do a quick sight to find the bottom of that egg. And notice I'm flip-flopping between my materials. I'm working with the vine charcoal. When I need to push a dark, I'll switch over to the compressed. If I need to pull out some light, I'll move over to my eraser. There's this nice little sliver of gray light happening here. Reductive drawings in these early stages are very painterly, right? All of my edges are soft. Everything is kind of hazy, sort of fuzzy. So really take this time, use this exercise, this sort of experiment here, just to get acquainted with this process, to working with these different materials, using them together. Got this nice sliver of light happening on that funnel. Tabletop. The lights affect the darks affect the lights. One thing you really want to try to avoid, well actually two things. So again, using line too soon, using line in the beginning. These should have this really nice atmospheric, smoky, kind of hazy quality, especially in the early stages. So make sure that you're not using line too soon. And then you want to really make sure that you are avoiding, for instance, doing all of the darks first and then doing the lights, right? Work the light a bit, then work the dark. Work the light again. The darker your darks get, the lighter it will make your lights. Your lights affect the darks, your darks affect the lights. Chipping away at this guy. Because these objects are sitting on a black tabletop, their cast shadows are nice and black. But the rest of the black tabletop, even though it is black, it's catching light, so it's not quite black. If the cast shadows are number 9, the light on the tabletop is maybe box number 7 or 8. Okay, so you guys can see it's starting to take shape, right? Making some adjustments. I might continue to work this way for maybe another half hour, 45 minutes, moving things around, adjusting my values, softening some edges, firming some other moments up. And then maybe within 45 minutes to an hour or so, I might start to work into this with my charcoal pencils, if need be. Maybe firming up some moments, sharpening some edges, definitely going through, looking at my symmetry, dropping in some axis lines, making sure that my forms are symmetrical and solid. But again, this is a good way to start these reductive drawings. Once I'm at this point now, then I'll start to go in, maybe work a little bit more linearly. Again, check my proportions, check my angles, make those adjustments. Okay, good luck.